What kind of food habits one should look at, and what age they should start taking care of that, especially the food habits that one should take care of?
Yeah, the most important food is the one which we don't eat,
Mm-hmm.
which is very, very important for joint health, for our health. It is something which is the reason why we have life on this planet,
Okay.
and that is the sun.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
So without the sun, we don't have life on earth.
Absolutely.
We are sun-based organisms. But you see nowadays the youngsters, how
Yeah, a lot of vitamin D
Yes.
is I
Yes.
mean, all of us,
Yes.
including myself.
Yes.
A lot of people take injections. They have those vitamin D tablets,
Yeah.
D60 or one of those that people
Yes.
do that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
But do you think that's not something we should do? We should rather be in the sun. And what time of the sun that one should
Yeah.
go for?
So God has done a very wonderful thing. What He has done is He has given us the option of getting exposed to the sun,
Correct.
and once the sun's rays touch our skin,
Yes.
it helps in vitamin D, and that vitamin D helps in calcium absorption, and calcium is the most important element
Absolutely.
for our body, and it helps in health. So being sun-based organisms, definitely solar exposure, sun exposure is very, very important.
And what's the time of the day one should take the sun
Time
exposure?
is a very simple rhyme, I say 10 to 1 exposed to the sun.
10 to 1. And how long one should be there?
Probably I can say again in patches of 5 to 10 minutes. 10 to
Okay.
1 exposed to the sun, 5 to 10 minutes.
Now, exposed to the sun means what? Like, if I'm a woman,
Hmm.
now how much of exposure to the sun I can do? Like, I'm still wearing
So
my
obviously,
clothes and
if
I can't be having exposure to the sun
I understand,
not that extent.
one of the largest parts of the body which is having skin which can be easily exposed is obviously the back.
Back, okay?
And I always say that if you are living in your house and you have got a private balcony or some window,
Correct.
so exposing of the back to the sun is very, very good.
Okay.
If some things like that can't be managed, then obviously the forearms,
Okay.
the face, and maybe the legs also
Okay.
are good for exposure. Again, in women, I would like to say that obviously cosmesis is very important.
Yeah.
So probably don't get too exposed as much as it starts to tan you.
Yeah.
That's why take the break. As you take
Correct,
a posture break, take a break in the exposure. But the best time is 10
10
to 1. In fact, I will go a little further and say maybe 10 to 11. Because the more the time starts to go,
Yeah,
you will get more and more hot. It will get more and more hot.
Hot.
And the very early morning is not good. The rays are not good. A lot of, I'm not a physicist, but I think UV rays and all that, they're all some sort of bad rays that come in early in the morning,
Correct.
which are not good for total exposure.
Correct.
So 10 to 11 maybe. 10
10 to 11, one should give an exposure, and men can take a complete exposure if they want to.
Yes.
But women, they can, at least certain aspects of their body, could be hands, could be your face, of
Yes.
course, and your legs. Right? And if you have the
Privacy,
opportunity or privacy that you
Back.
maybe, the back itself.
Yeah.
Great. So that's something. And food wise, what are the kind of food one should look at?
Anything.
And what age group one should, like maybe at the age of 40, 50, what kind of food one should take regularly
Yeah.
for your bone health?
So always a balanced diet is very important, where a diet where good amount of protein, a basic amount of carbohydrate and little amount of fat is obviously very, very good. But obviously bone health is more dependent on protein. So any
right.
protein related diet is very good. In fact, there are a lot of nutrition specialists who would say and who would give a better idea about food than maybe I can.
Yeah.
But I know on a rough basis, I can say maybe green leafy vegetables and dairy products like paneer, and maybe
If somebody is
non-vegetarian
a
stuff.
vegetarian, then what kind of food?
So you have got paneer, you have got
Yeah.
tofu, you have got that edamame, you have got,
edamame, yes.
and you have got green
What
leafy
about
vegetables,
rajma and all
rajma
that?
and all very
Yes.
good. Beans is good.
Beans is good.
So many vegetarian diets have got very good protein. In fact, some have got better protein than animal
Yes.
sources.
Yes.
But it all depends on one's choice, what they want to have. But having a protein intake is very, very important. In fact, I say that maybe one meal a day you can have a protein.
Just the protein without carbs.
Yeah.
Perfect. And
perhaps.
that should be which meal that one should take? It's a morning or the afternoon or the night?
Maybe afternoon or a brunchish type of a brunch, maybe that should be very good.
Only protein.
Perhaps
idea.
it's a good
Yes.
idea. And because obviously throughout the night you're fasting,
Yes.
and when you wake up in the morning you give only protein, perhaps, maybe, I'm not a nutritionist, but maybe the body would want something a little more, some carb and all that. Once it is settled, it's always better to take a little lighter food with a lot of more protein maybe in the afternoon, and the evening you can balance it out. But again, maybe a nutritionist
No, that's fine. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
as an orthopedic surgeon,
Yeah.
when you suggest to someone, doctor, like what are the things that one needs to take care of? These are basic aspects. Of course, we can
Yeah.
talk to a nutritionist who can help us,
Yeah.
giving us more detailed information on this. Great. So, okay. Also, tell me one thing, doctor. That what are the as you said, different age group is what I asked you. Like 40s, women. A lot of women go through, because obviously women bone health starts deteriorating after a certain age, right?
Yes.
So, what are the things women should do
Hmm.
post 40? Is something that all the viewers would like to know about it.
Women's health is basically hormone dependent, obviously.
Okay.
God has given them a little softer muscles
Correct.
and all that, maybe obviously because to aid in childbirth. That's the main
Yes.
reason.
Yes.
That's the main reason why nature has made them like that, because they are the mothers.
Yeah. True.
So once women have finished childbirth and they're starting to hit 40s, obviously that is the time when the hormones are slowly diminishing, and they're developing some sort of a dead end in their cycles, and the menopause starts to happen. So obviously most important thing that this hormones balance is calcium.
Perfect.
So I always tell my patients that keep your calcium in check. It's not like a blood test, but there are scans which tell us how strong your bone is.
Okay.
These are like DEXA scans. They tell us,
DEXA scan,
yeah. So they tell us that are your bone really hard enough? Will you be able to take the stress of as age progresses? And DEXA scan can give us a very good idea of how strong the woman's body is, and whether the type of calcium that she requires, or maybe some other supplement. There are
Right.
different supplements that give strength to bone. Second,
So, do you think any supplements, if you take any supplements which are like calcium related, does that affect any other parts of your body? Like if you take regular calcium tablets, example, I'm just asking you. Do you think that affects any other parts of your body?
usually the worry is about kidney stones.
Kidneys, exactly.
So usually again in my career, at least I must have, as I said, thousands of cases I must have given calcium tabs. None of them have had calcium stone formation, because nowadays the new formulations of calcium that are available along with vitamin D and all that are all not so serious to cause kidney stones. If patient is developing kidney stones, there must be a gene in that patient where the extra production of kidney stone is present. Or else usually once you have good amount of water, obviously if you hydrate
Yes.
yourself properly, calcium stones should not be a problem in most of the patients.
Does it also affect heart? Like a lot of calcium, having calcium regularly? No.
No, it usually, from what I know, it's not my department. I give calcium on a regular basis to most of my women patients. But if calcium really affects the heart or not, maybe a cardiologist should say.
Should say that.
But
yes.
nothing that I have come across in my life, or there has never been a time
And-
when the cardiologist comes and says, "Why did you give calcium? Her heart is now." It's not like that.
Yeah.
At least it's not like that from
Correct,
what
correct.
my experience teaches.
Yeah. But don't you think, just a question, don't you think one should say that what, other than tablets, why don't you subscribe, or why don't you tell your patients that, you should have food, certain things should be on the food? Or don't you think so?
Definitely we tell that, ma'am. But here what happens is, sometimes after a certain age we are fighting nature.
Right.
So some amount of supplementation is very, very important. No matter how much we try to take it in nutrition, see, a body is like a machine.
Correct.
It starts to fail at various levels. So if as age related, calcium related issues are happening, absorption related issues also start happening.
Correct.
Even if you take a very good nutrition, it's not like the entire nutrition is getting absorbed.
Correct.
So you take maybe 10 parts, when you're young 9 parts are getting absorbed. But as you're growing older, you're taking 10 parts,
10
and
parts.
maybe 5 parts or 4 parts are getting absorbed.
Correct.
Where do you
Correct.
get that extra?
Yeah.
So obviously the concept of supplementation of food has come because as age progresses, despite our best effort, what is required for the body perhaps is not being absorbed.
Okay.
So we give it in a extra form like supplemental calcium tablets or maybe something like that, so
So do
that it
you
helps.
also think the nutraceuticals that are there nowadays, a lot of nutraceuticals which
Yeah.
have come up, do you think that those nutraceuticals are good, helpful for the body, or they do have some kind of a side effects?
Nutraceuticals usually don't have side effects from what I know. But whether nutraceuticals help patients or not, it is a more of an individual based perception.
Okay.
Many times nutraceuticals are harmless. So when they are harmless, they can also act like placebos also.
Oh, okay.
That is, you give something saying to the patient this will work, and they take it, and usually it works. That is called as the placebo effect. So we really don't know what could be the reason why they are working. It may be something to do with their physiology, or it may be something to do with the patient's trust, or maybe the faith they have in the doctor.
Okay.
Because if you really see in the basic, not basic, if you go to the real deep levels of physiology and see, we really don't know where they are actually working. But we actually see patients coming and saying that, doctor, I'm doing well. Can I have that medication again? So there are some things that still we are trying to understand. What is the reason why
In medical
nutraceuticals?
science.
Yeah, why is it still working? It's not like a hard and fast established concept that yes, I'm giving this, it will 100% work. We are giving it saying that we have given it to the patients. Many of them have done well. None of them had any major issues. So definitely it is going to help you.
It helped them to.
It helps. So if you ask the science, it's difficult to argue about the science as of now,
Correct.
because it's more of maybe a little placebo effect, and maybe it acts in a level which we are still not able to totally understand, or there are sort of so many things that we don't know how they work, because how we use turmeric in our
Correct.
food.
Haldi, yeah, that's what
We
say.
use it for, we have been using it for centuries, but how does it work, or does it really work? Nobody has
It
an
says
answer.
that, oh, it's an antiseptic,
Yeah,
or,
but-
or that's what it is said, and
Yeah.
we have believed it. So that's exactly my point. Do you think that that's something that's how it is, or it's a myth, or it's been told to us? What is it?
I can be more more what is the word? I can be more accommodating by saying that perhaps the science is still little beyond our understanding as of now, because science is evolving always. Right now, why a haldi works in our food, or why the ancient people felt that haldi is important in our food,
Yeah.
is something that maybe in a far drawn future we might know. It's not like it is totally.
See, because if I look at it, the West, they do not use haldi in their food, right? But just quite conversation that I'm having with you. So in India, we use spices, we use haldi, we do say that each spices have some effect. Okay, because that's what goes to Ayurveda and that aspect. So I'm not going there, but I'm just trying to say that that's what we have been told, and we believe in this, right?
Yes.
So, but in the West, they do not use any of the spices.
True.
They boil their food, or they do sometimes use spices, but not the way we use spices.
Yeah, perhaps I think it has to do with the region they are from, because we are more of a tropical people,
yes.
and they're more in temperate. Again, as I said, this is beyond my department to really comment on how these nutraceuticals act on a very physiological basis. But what I have seen is at least patients don't complain about them.
Correct.
And many times we have seen patients do well, and they come back and say that yes, we are doing well about this.
Also, there's a myth. People say milk is good for health.
Okay.
Now that's something I want to know from you for your bones and all.
Yeah.
Is it true, or is it just a myth? Because milk, you have it till a certain age.
Okay.
And then you have it, in different forms of milk. Like you have dahi, you have chas. That's better, it is said.
Huh.
So this is a question I'm asking you. So do you think that it's true, or is there any why one should continue drinking milk at the age of 40, 50? A lot of people are lactose intolerant, right?
Intolerant.
So they don't want to drink milk.
Okay.
So this is just a question that I have heard a lot of time people ask.
Again, beyond my department, but what I can say is if you don't are not able to digest the milk, don't take it.
Correct.
There are other obviously nutrition sources where you can get your calcium or your other things that you get from milk. It all depends on whether you are able to digest it or whether you are able to assimilate it, and whether it is good or bad. It's something. It's never a black and white scenario. Yeah, there's always a gray. There are people who revel in milk, I think, and there are people who don't take milk.
Okay.
So maybe to give a summary, nutraceuticals and orthopedics are an evolving science. Why they work, how they work is perhaps something which we will know as time progresses. Most of the orthopedicians, they obviously give this nutraceutical to patients as a bridging therapy between conservative management and surgery. So it's like a small go-between. And most of the patients who have taken this have given positive reviews, have been happy. But are they working? Why are they working? Will they work?
Yeah.
We have no idea. We have no idea.
Let's not get there. So, okay, I have one question. Aging and bone health. As we age, what changes occur in our bones and how we can adapt?
A bone or the body is like a machine, ma'am.
Correct.
As time, or a building, for example. A building which is newly constructed will have strong concrete walls, it will have wonderful flooring, it will have everything wonderful. Same too with the body.
Correct.
Once you're into skeletal maturity, 20-25 years, you have got a very nice, healthy body. But as time progresses, because of constant stress, constant pressures, constant bending, and as time progresses because of some ups and downs in your physiology, the bone starts to become more weak. As an explanation I give to my patients, I say God is a wonderful architect. Whatever body you have, if it's like a building, if he takes out 2 bricks every day, he places back 4 or 5 bricks. I mean, he keeps it in a good state throughout your young life and all that. But once you start touching 40s, 50s maybe, and 60s, if he is going to take out 3 bricks, he won't put the 4 or 3 bricks back. He's going to put only 1 brick back. So that is that negative, that's called osteoclast activity. First one is osteoblast, where you're improving your bone cells. Osteoclast is when you're reducing the bone. This is basically for the people to understand.
Absolutely.
So as time progresses, the body, most important change it undergoes is maintenance. It starts to maintain itself much lesser than what it can or what it should. That is the reason why people start to become more and more frail as time goes on. So noticing this signs, noticing that you are becoming little weak, and trying to improve that by improving little amount of mobility. More you move, more blood supply, little more bricks are placed. You take some medications, so little more bricks are placed. So we are trying to see the balance between what is placed and what is taken out. That is how we are maintained. Good cells come, bad cells are
taken out. Correct. Absolutely.
So the moment bad cells predominant, obviously you start to have problems.
Absolutely.